Okay, forgive me, it's been a couple of weeks. I wanted to talk about the Trump decision, so called verdict. Um, it was, and you might have a criminal justice associate's degree, criminal justice bachelor's degree. I did my internship in a courthouse, and although I've been in a police department for 12 years, and it was, by every measure, an illegal trial. The trial should have never taken place in this country, and people that are involved in the trial should have been disbarred, if not put in prison themselves. Okay, now, Stormy Daniels allegedly had an affair with Trump when he was in between marriages. Keep in mind that Barron Trump just graduated high school. So it was a couple years ago. And President Trump is a billionaire, and a lot of guys like him have that lifestyle. Now, to put that into perspective, if you look at President Reagan never cheated on his wives. He had two wives. But when he was in between marriages, I'm actually looking up at President Reagan's bus right now. When President Reagan was in between marriages, he had several affairs here and there, often involving much younger women. He one time had an affair with an 18-year-old girl, and on one occasion, he literally woke up in bed, and there was a girl next to him, and he couldn't tell you where she came from. Okay, this stuff happens. Men that are powerful, men that have money, whether it be Hollywood money or Wall Street money or golf course money, men are powerful. And Stormy Daniels basically was blabbing about Trump several years ago. And he basically told her point blank, listen, I'll give you money and you shut up. Okay? You're a whore, so you want money. And Stormy Daniels is a whore. Now, to put that into perspective, many politicians on both sides of the aisle have given whores money for a lot of reasons. Maybe they sexually harassed them. Maybe they were accused of sexual harassment. Maybe they had an affair when they were married. Maybe they did this, whatever. But a lot of politicians are like, listen, I'm running for senator, I'm running for governor, I'm running for mayor. Shut the fuck up. Here's money. And me personally, my philosophy, don't give bitches money. Because don't forget, these women, these are not nice women. These are not like your mother or your nieces or your daughters, okay? These are pieces of shit women. Look for this money. Okay? And they may betray you. If you have a woman who had an affair with you, you have a woman who accused you of sexual harassment or some other shit like that, if you give them money, they will, sorry about the lights, they will just abuse you. Now, Bill Clinton gave Paula Jones money. I think she accused him of harassment. People just give money. Listen, sometimes it's because I don't want to hurt my political chances. Other times it's because I'm married with a kid now or something like that. And there are women that have, what if they have pictures of you? You can have a woman that you fucked around with a couple years ago, and what if she's a picture of yourself making whipped cream with her bare feet? Okay? What if she's taking a selfie and down below she's standing on top of you, literally standing on you? What if you're in the bathtub and she's urinating on you? Okay, what if she's got you tied to a bedpost and she's got an exclusion mask on and she's whipping you? I mean, people do freaky shit, sexual domination, all the bullshit, feet, whipping, tickling, okay? They do crazy shit. Women have pictures, men have pictures. There's been porn videos, you had Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, the most famous, which was obviously Pamela Anderson. I mean, there are videos, there are pictures, there are stories. And it gets freaky sometimes. There's a picture of Bill Clinton. He is in a hotel room. He's naked, sitting on the bed, and some bitch is giving him a back rub. Now, how many times? I mean, be realistic, okay? A lot of times, if a woman's giving a massage, she'll say, "Take your shirt off. I want to get a little deeper into you," or "Take your sweater off," or "Take your jacket off," or whatever. Okay, I saw when I was a kid. I saw George and Alana in a talk show. He had a jacket on. Alana said, "Take your jacket off, lay it on the floor mat." And a therapist came out and they sometimes walking on him. So a lot of times the therapist might say, or the girl might say, "Take your shirt off, take your jacket off, sit back this way," but you're buck naked in a shit hotel. You're sitting on the edge of a bed and you're getting a back rub. Now I don't know what they did before or after the back rub, but yeah. And there was another picture of Bill Clinton. He's in a small airport with Jeffrey Epstein, and a girl who's about 25 or 26 is giving her a back rub. Okay, you have Epstein Island going on. Okay, now there's a difference between going to an island and fucking little young kids and having some whore in your hotel room or your bedroom or some shit like that. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, but a lot of times we have men that are compromised, and they say, "Look, here's the money. Shut the fuck up." And this bitch got this was Alvin Bragg, who said, "I will stop Trump. I don't know what he did, but I'll get him one way or another." Letitia James as well. And Stormy Daniels gets in touch with Alvin Bragg and says, "Trump paid me money to be quiet." What year was that? 2016. Aha, that's election interference. It wasn't when Bill Clinton did it. And Hillary Clinton paid some guy to accuse Trump of treason, conspiring with Russia to rig the election. And the Democrats investigated that for 3 years straight at the expense of taxpayers. And 2020 when they came to the polling places after midnight with hundreds of thousands of ballots, and they had these drop boxes, and they found all these illegal ballots from the mail-in ballots. They're all illegal. And this guy's stuffing the boxes full of ballots. That's not illegal. That's not interference, but it's interference. Now, the statute of limitations for whatever they said it was, miscalculating some shit, was 4 years. It's now 7 or 8 years. We don't need statute of limitations. We're going to raise a trial. And they found the judge, by mere coincidence, who hated Trump. And the judge was a Democratic donor, and his daughter is a Democratic fundraiser. And his daughter's making millions of dollars for the Democratic Party fundraising. And that's not conflicted at all. And they bring the trial in Manhattan, which is 85% Democrat leaning. And they get 2 attorneys on the jury. And the daughter of 2 cops. Now, years ago, when you filed a jury questionnaire, what happens is you get a questionnaire from a jury duty, and they want to see if you can serve. And some guys can't serve. Police officers, firefighters, military, convicted felons. And some guys don't need to serve. If you're over 70 with photo ID, if you're disabled with a doctor's note. Okay, there are a whole bunch of people that can serve, don't serve. And they basically, years ago, for many, many, many years, if you were an attorney, they would send your law license in, and they would excuse you. Sorry, drop something. They would excuse you from the jury. Sorry about that. And live TV. So they would excuse you because if you're an attorney, your education is outside information. Plus, depending on what courthouse you're going to, you might know the judges, the other lawyers, the court officers, the staff. You might know everybody personally, and they don't want that. So years ago, an attorney would send their law license in or their law degree in or something like that, and they would get excused. Years ago, if they found out your cousin, your spouse, your child, your parent, your sibling were lawyers, they threw you right out. Nowadays, they relaxed it a little bit, and they allow lawyers to go to jury duty. And even then, most of the time, if you're a lawyer and you're doing jury duty, they will kick you off. They don't want you on the jury. But here you have 2 attorneys on the jury, which is rare. Very rare. You have the daughter of 2 New York City cops. Very rare. Most of the time, if you're a cop or you're related to a cop, retired cop, they don't want you. Now, I did jury duty. I had a question. I was assigned in May of 2009 to the Federal House in White Plains, and I postponed because I was a college student. I postponed to the summertime. Then I was asked to the Federal House in Manhattan in 2013. I postponed to the summer because I didn't want to fulfill my public duties. First time in jury duty, I had to go there for half a day, and then I was on call for a month. I called twice a week for a month, and then tomorrow. Excuse. Okay, you're done. You're on call. You gotta call every fucking week. It's a pain in the ass. Federal House in Manhattan, I was there for an entire day. Went home. The next day, my father's birthday, I was there for half a day. Went home. On call for a couple of days. That was it. I was done. More on that later. So during the trial, the judge is coming in. The judge tells the defense, "Are you ready?" Yes. Then he tells the prosecutor, "Are we ready?" Okay, he's part of the prosecution team. Then he goes out of his way to lean towards the prosecution sometimes. He refused to allow one of Trump's witnesses to testify. When one witness for Trump does testify, he bashes him in front of the jury, which is very, very controversial. And then the case goes out. Now, I thought that if the two attorneys obey their oath, regardless of personal opinion, they will vote no, not guilty, for the simple fact that, aside from all the corrupt bullshit going on behind the scenes, the statute of limitations expired. Now, the statute of limitations, and in our country, we have a statute on everything except murder. Murder, you can be caught 50 years later and go to prison. Okay? But a statute of limitations basically means the prosecutor, has X number of years to bring you to justice. That means they could literally catch you at the stroke of midnight, the day that the limitation expires, and they can't do shit. Okay? If the statute of limitations for assault is 7 years, okay? And at 12:01 midnight, exactly 7 years later, they find the video of me beating the shit out of a woman. They still can't bring charges because the limitation expired. So that right there meant the case should not have been brought legally. And you would think that the attorney would follow their goddamn oaths. Okay? Also, the daughter of two New York City cops, Alvin Bragg. New York City is Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Not Long Island, but Staten Island. Alvin Bragg is the prosecutor in Manhattan. Alvin Bragg has dropped, on average, 6 out of 10 cases, regardless of evidence or lack thereof. Just dropped them, flat out. Dropped them. The other 40%, he reduces them so low that the guy gets the least amount of punishment possible. Example, if you were to jaywalk, okay, punch a lady in the face and take her purse, drop assault, drop robbery, charge jaywalking, pay a $2 fine. That's the kind of guy Alvin Bragg is. Alvin Bragg had 7 illegal aliens on camera beating the shit out of 2 cops. He reduced the charges as low as possible. They got cashless bail. At least 2 escaped to California, and Gavin Newsom will not extradite them. Okay? Fucking picture. During the trial, there was a terrorist attack at Columbia University. Palestinian sympathizers stormed Hamilton Hall, took it over entirely, and they broke the doors, they broke in, insurrection. They held 3 janitors hostage for 22 hours. NYPD sent a massive task force in there. There's video footage of them going on a big ladder. They have a armed personnel carrier with a giant ladder, and they go in the building. NYPD arrested over 50 terrorists, holding 3 hostages. Okay, you got assault, battery, wrongful imprisonment, kidnapping, trespassing, breaking and entering, burglary, conspiracy. They had about 12 felonies. Alvin Bragg dropped every single charge in less than an hour, and every single guy went free. They literally committed a terrorist attack. And this was during the Trump trial. Okay? That's going to put that in perspective for you. And then you would think that the daughter of two New York City cops would side with Satan before Alvin Bragg. That wasn't the case. And I went online, I donated money to Trump. It took 3 hours because the site had crashed. He got like $50 million in an 8-hour period, and then like $200 million in like a 5-day period. Okay? Now, after the fact, one of the jurors had told their cousin, hey, we're going to convict Trump tomorrow. And the cousin had told the social media, like Facebook or some shit, and then the regular media picked up on it. Now, when I was in the federal house in Manhattan, the second day I came back, there were like 17 guys there. And they told us that one judge, it was his first federal case, he just came to the bench at the federal level. He had 10 jurors yesterday. He wants 2 more jurors, and you 17 guys are here for that. Okay, whatever, fuck. You're going to go up to him a little bit. And one woman's like, hey, I went to high school with this judge. Okay, whatever. Okay, wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. The jury clerk says, maybe this may be your last day here. Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. They're negotiating, I think. Go home. What happened? And then a couple days later, I would call back tomorrow. Call, you're done. Yay, done. Now, what happened was there was some kind of civil rights dispute. And the judge said, let's make a deal. Now, when you do a civil case, when you have a criminal case, only the defendant can appeal it. Only the defendant. When you do a civil case, both parties can appeal it forever. A case can go 5, 10 years. My mother and I were involved in a car accident a couple years ago. I was unscathed. She had 2 knee surgeries and 1 shoulder surgery. A woman had ran the red light, drove into oncoming traffic, crashed into a car. The car had spun out, crashed into us. And the car that crashed into us, that guy, he had a license that was expired and suspended. And the case was settled on his birthday. The money was given on his birthday. It took 2 years and 11 months for us to finish the case. And it took 7 months after that for us to get the money. We got the money on that guy's birthday, believe it or not. Well, his money was paid out right away, but the other woman's money, they held out a little longer. Now, what happened was the main lawyer was in the hospital. His wife's having surgery, and he sent his assistant to the court, and the 2 lawyers had to sit down with a judge to negotiate the settlement. Now, in this case, in the federal house in Manhattan, years ago, when I was on jury duty, the judge did that too. A lot of times, criminal court, you have jury duty, and there are jurors in there. Sometimes it does say, let's go home. Just go the fuck home. Other times they'll say, go upstairs and we'll weed out jurors to go on this case, and the case will be settled. Other times, this and other thing happens. Maybe 10% of guys that get jury duty go on an actual jury case. Okay? On average, criminal court, 1 in every 300 guys gets a jury. Civil court, 1 case out of 1,000 goes to jury. It's very, very fucking rare. Most civil court cases, the lawyers argue it out. Sometimes, judge trial. Sometimes, judge negotiation. The judge will sit down with the lawyers and tell the lawyers point blank, your clients, if you guys have other cases to do, your clients have to pay you? Do your clients want to get, because one of you is going to get 100% what you want, one of you is going to get 0% what you want 10 years from now. Or we can settle it right now and we'll get 75% of what you both want, and okay? So the lawyers call the clients at work or at home and say, listen, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to make a deal. And the client has to sign off on the deal. The client has to say, yes, lawyer, I approve that deal. The lawyer tells the judge, Your Honor, my client is happy. My client is happy. Shake hands. Okay? I'm getting some of this. And the judge says, okay, you get this, shake hands. Sign this contract saying you will never appeal the case. After I was taken off the jury entirely, I was dismissed completely. I went on their website and I read the case. And I'm like, Your Honor, thank you. Because I had no fucking clue. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was even Chinese. I could not figure it out. Thank God that judge didn't have a jury fucking trial. Thank God that judge had the brain to sit down and negotiate. All right? And that's what they do. Just fucking, because here's the issue. If you have a jury rule a decision, you don't know what that jury's going to say until they say it. And if it's a civil case, you got to appeal it. You got to pay more money to file the appeal. Blah, 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 blah. Another court. Or your lawyer calls you, tells you what the deal is, and you approve it before they sign it. Okay? So you know what the deal you're getting. I'm getting this money. I'm getting my job back. I'm getting an apology. Whatever. My reputation being restored. Whatever the fucking problem is. But I did not even attempt to look into the case until I was entirely excused. When you have jury duty, they do not want you to even look at any case, period. They want your mind blank. Only if you are the one out of 100 guys that goes to sit on a jury, then the judge will tell you, we're going to show you the evidence, and you only consider what we show you. This attorney, that attorney, in this courtroom. You don't have any other outside influence. I think this, I think that. You don't read the papers. You don't watch the news. If you read the paper and the case is discussed, you ignore it. Okay? Blank. When the jurors see each other, hello, goodbye. They don't even talk to each other. When the case is over, then the judge will say, now we go into the room and we deliberate. You do not talk about the case outside that room. You talk about it in the room only. So if two jurors get to go to the bathroom, they don't talk about it. When they go home at the end of the night, we'll be back tomorrow, don't talk about it. Okay? So you talk about it amongst yourselves in the deliberation room when the judge says so. And then once the case is settled, then the judge can say, you guys can talk all you want now. Go on social media, write a book, give interviews, whatever. Now, when that juror told their cousin, first of all, you're not supposed to tell them what case you're on. They can assume all they want, but you cannot tell anyone what case you're on. Okay? So when the juror said, I'm on the Trump trial, that right there was a violation of law. When the juror said, hey, we're going to convict him tomorrow, violation of law. Okay? The cousin bragged about it online, on social media, blah, blah, blah. The media picked it up. That right there is such a violation. That alone is going to be an appeal. Okay? And that juror, if we follow the law, he's going to be held in contempt. If we don't follow the law, okay? So, this is what happens. And that's what they mean when they say lawfare, rigged trial, okay? If this case was so-called fair, the minute they realized the statute was expired, they would have threw it in the garbage. Assuming the statute was not expired, for whatever reason, they would have found an impartial judge, an impartial prosecutor, and because Manhattan leans 85% Democrat, they would have moved the trial to upstate New York. And they would have put, 6 registered Democrats on the case and 6 registered Republicans on the case. But they didn't do that. So, this is what they're doing here. This is the weaponized legal system. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.